Well, I came to Dr. Ravner because initially I went to another doctor that was giving me I would call it an ultimatum, where if I had surgery with him, I would be forced to retire. So I took time off. I thought about it. I had different treatments, pain management, and ultimately I went to the orthopedic doctor, who in turn referred me to him, and then I think it was a good choice. Well, my symptoms were pain. It wasn't severe pain, but it was enough to keep me awake at night. During the day, I functioned. I went to the gym. I worked out, no problem. So the pain wasn't very severe. I had weeks that there were bad, days that were bad. It's just having like a stiff neck. But then in nighttime, for about 7 years, I couldn't sleep. The pain was enough to keep me up, like I said, all night, tossing and turning. And finally, I decided I couldn't take it anymore. And I had to really make the decision whether I was going to have surgery or not. I decided finally to have the surgery because progressively my condition became worse and worse, where I was forced to take for those years sleeping aid medication. And then it came to a point that it wasn't enough to keep me asleep or allow me to sleep. And then I had to add also strong medication, pain medication. Then I knew that it had to stop at one point. I couldn't take pain medication for the rest of my life, and then I just decided, no, I had to approach the problem a different way, and finally I said, no, I can't take the pain anymore. He was very clear. Initially, when I went to see him, I wasn't really expecting that it was going to be surgery. The one that I had, I was hoping that it was going to be another alternative where I can just have something that could be done without doing an intrusive procedure as the one that I did. And he said, no, there was no other option. With my condition, the only option that I had was surgery. And then he told me that it wasn't something that it was going to deter me from doing my job or functioning. And because one of my worries was that I couldn't go back to work, and then the job that I do could be requiring me to get into a physical confrontation where I'm going to have to wrestle someone or control someone physically. So that was my concern, that I couldn't go, and if I did go back to work, that I was going to have some issue with my spine. And then I remember him say that there was a football player, Manning, I believe, that he said that had the same procedure, and he went back to the game playing football. So that actually made me make the final determination to go with a procedure, with a surgery. Completely. I would say I'm extremely satisfied. I think if I would have known that it was going to be this way, I would have never waited this long. Because the problem that I had initially was that my orthopedic doctor didn't send me to the right doctor. That's one thing. Second, I was afraid. I didn't want the surgery, period. I thought that I was young, and then that other alternative would have resolved the issue. But then finally, when I had it, I said, oh my God, I wish I would have known what I know now. I would have done it a long time ago. Absolutely, I would recommend Dr. Ravner. Not only before the operation, but also during the recovery and past recovery. That's something that he showed me, that he cared. If I would call the office, he would make sure, or email him, he would call me directly within a few minutes, half hour, an hour sometimes. And he really sounded, excuse me, like he cared about what was going on with me. So that was one of the main reasons, and that's why I'm here.